Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Atta Boi Einstein. I'm Z, it's Theo, and we have a guest today, Michael. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Michael, I'm the general manager of 77 Degrees in Austin in the Rose Room.
Nice. Okay. And so you guys just opened back up, right?
Just the rooftop bar, just 77.
Just 77. So then they're not letting Rose Room, or so it's like connected by one door, isn't it?
It's got a couple doors that connected. There's the front entrance as well with the escalator and the lights and all that, but kind of hard to have a club environment with everybody sitting down and you want to dance and get fucked up and somebody is walking around saying, you know,
sit down.
Yeah, doesn't really work too well.
Are y'all like doing rounds? Be like, make sure y'all social distance.
We got people everywhere on every deck talking to every single person. We got somebody at the front door explaining everything. Every person that serves a drink tells you the same thing. You gotta have your mask on if you're walking to the bathroom. Can't be wandering around. Got to be seated otherwise.
It's like you almost had to learn how to run an amusement park a little bit.
Man, people made the joke that, you know, bartenders and whatnot are babysitters, but now that shit is fucking horrible.
Yes.
And are people like reacting well to being like, hey, don't do this?
I think the first shutdown was a lot worse when we reopened the first time and everybody was really pissed about the mask and having to, you know, deal with all that shit. But now that it's happened again and everybody's really wanting to go back out and socialize and everything, that they're kind of accepting it a little bit more just so they can go out and socialize and be out and do something. For the most part, people are pretty receptive to it, pretty positive, as long as, you know, we're happy about it. And nice.
Was the domain the first to shut down? I think like something, y'all stayed open for an extra week, right, or something, until the city came down on you guys.
I don't remember.
It's been so long.
Yeah.
Right.
And are you guys doing good too?
Yeah, it was a good following weekend. Are you able to open at full capacity? What's that like for?
We're at 50% right now.
Even though you're outside, they're still.
And then what about still starting the 21st Monday, right?
They're supposed to bump it up, right?
Or it was either yesterday or somewhere around this week, I think.
It's supposed to be Monday this week. Restaurants can go to 75% capacity. But you still gotta, you know, make sure you have 6 feet in between the tables. You can only have 10 people in one party.
Are y'all offering food now at the?
You have to have food for any establishment that is open. You can't do it with a liquor license only. You have to have a mixed beverage permit, which requires you to sell food until 2 a.m.
Yeah, it's red tape, man. It's crazy. Like,
there's so much of it, man. But it's better than being shut down, sitting on your ass at home.
Are the owners happy that everything's rolling at least?
Yeah, man. Like. I know a lot of the staff and a lot of the customers, you know, are pissed that either they're out and they're not making money or, you know, they can't go out and drink or do stuff, but nobody really understands what a black hole bar is until you own one yourself, man. You're just sitting on your ass paying rent, you know, all your inventory is there. Like, it's just a big
Nothing's
hole.
sellable. Yeah. And you guys have the same problem?
It's the same thing. And you're not, I mean, they tell you to try and do to-go stuff if you can, but you can't operate a business like that.
I would think like they would have taken away the to-go thing already, but it seems to be receptive. At least for like the restaurants, they're making money on this because people will come and then they'll take it once they're leaving. But I don't work in the industry. So.
I feel like that's even more of a liability.
Yeah, you would think so. Yeah,
I would think it would be the same thing if they just pop it open in their car.
Yeah, I mean, you can't watch them when you walk outside of your doors at all.
And have they been anything? You know how there used to be like the overserved things led back to this bar. You know, are you guys scared any of that like to-go shit would probably do the same?
I haven't been doing to-go drinks personally. I'm not sure if Michael's been selling them or not. Yeah,
none of the bars that are under our umbrella do that.
Yeah, I was going to say, because it's such a liability when they're drinking in your establishment. I don't even want to begin and think about that stuff.
Then just be able to go
found them with your empty containers and some random crash or something like that.
Yeah, label.
Man, I don't know about you guys, but I'm wild when I'm off, so like, I can't imagine my customers.
Yes. I wonder how like I think Taco Banner or something started giving out the burgers. That's a shithole. At the beginning, it's 24 hours.
Yeah.
And then you're just taking over these, like, they're probably giving those McCormick's, you know, like real shitty fucking vodka.
I think they have to do the wine-based nasty stuff. Wine-based tequilas and things.
Oh my, so that means it's not even like distilled right?
Even worse.
Yeah,
it's horrible shit. As soon as everything's shut down and then the restaurants were allowed to reopen, all the liquor reps and everything for specs, the only thing they were doing were those little airline bottles, like just cases and cases, thousands of them.
Just damn, you could even just get those and resell those, and then that's all they're doing.
Yeah, even for a while, I know some places could sell their liquor at wholesale to their people, but that wasn't something that was.
I saw something
providing
with
profit at all.
Draft House. The Draft House was doing that. They're doing like little packages. You get like this little miniature, like
there's a couple of chains doing that.
Half liter or something with your margarita mix or something. I got it one time, but it's because it was my birthday and everything was bad. Like, I'm not gonna go buy all this shit and like make my own margaritas. And then I went by his bars.
Some of them were pretty cool to-go kits for sure.
Yeah, it was. They even gave me like some like it was a DVD, but some old ass movie. And I was like, I don't even have a DVD player. Like, you understand? There's like, unless you have a Blu-ray, I need a Blu-ray. I can put the PlayStation here. But other than that, I didn't think it was that hard, but then I don't have to revolve around the bar industries and stuff.
Rents are crazy. I mean, I know what they're like downtown. Domain, same, man. It's probably higher, if not just the same.
It's way higher.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I talked to the guys that run Turf and Surf inside of Lavaca Street. They closed down.
Yeah, there's a lot of people upset about that. Yeah. But I mean, he was just a small business owner inside Lavaca up there, and everybody loved his food. But like I said, man, that shit's hard. Like, everybody complains they can't go out and drink, and the bartenders or the servers are mad they're not out making money. But you got to remember, there's people sitting there with $20,000-$30,000 just in product and payroll and everything else alone. Plus,
can't move it, can't do
anything with it. All the laws.
Yeah. And TABC's gonna come fuck you if you do something with it.
Exactly.
And think about someone telling, okay, you can open up at 50%, 25%. It's not built in your business model for the most part.
When you're trying to square inch to that motherfucker.
That's how you calculate it at the beginning of it. Yeah, for sure.
Over there at the Domain, do you see like a lot of people leaving like companies, or is it just like residents mostly?
I think a lot of people are kind of bouncing around right now because they don't know what's going on and everything's moving so quickly and changing like every day. But the people that are staying are the ones that have been there the longest, I feel like, because they know no matter what, when shit like this happens, you got to stick it out. Wherever you go, it's going to fucking suck. Yes. But if you stay in one place, as soon as everything's back to normal, then you're going to have a good time. You're going to have your spot. You're going to have, what you want, and it's going to be good.
You think those other bars are going to come back, or is it just you guys?
As far in the Domain?
How many bars are open on, like, I think there was only 8, right, or something? 8 bars off that street.
Actual bars, or like,
not the brunch spots, like
so just Rock Rose. Yeah. There's Wonder Bar, Rose Room 77, Jack and Ginger's.
Jack and Ginger's was open, right? Because they had
that was the first one. Yeah. Dogwood, Lavaca, and Kung Fu.
Kung Fu. Yeah. Are they all owned by the same dude, or they are managed by the people downtown?
Let's see. Rose Room 77, Wonder Bar, and Jack's are owned by the same company.
So 4 of them, I think.
Then there's Dogwood. That's one person. Kung Fu it's not one person, but is another kind of group, and some of them invest into each other as well. And then Lavaca is a different one, I believe, as well. I know, like I said, I know a bunch of them kind of dip their hand in the same pool, but for the most part, they're all separate.
And did they open up too right now, or no? Are they still closed?
They're all open right now. I think it was Jack and Ginger's, then Lavaca, then Dogwood, or vice versa. And then 77 Wonder Bar just opened recently, and Kung Fu did too as well.
Are y'all having trouble like keeping people, or is it people just raring to come back, I think, right now?
We had a couple people come back when we reopened. A couple left. Like I said, it's kind of natural even when you just open a bar. Yep. People expect one thing, they don't get that. That's kind of any business, I feel like, and they're going to just dip. But we had a couple go and a lot come. We're always hiring. That's the bar industry. The turnover rate is unbelievable. But
how's your staff? Is everybody back, or is it like halfway?
I think we're about halfway right now. The back and forth, with the whole restaurant style and being in a bar is like, you can't have your whole staff because there's not 100% people, so the money is limited, but you also got to have more staff than half of it because you got to have more people running around making up for everything because it's not the same business model. But I think we're doing a pretty good job up there.
Sure. And you guys, are you full back out hours, or you guys
we ran with a smaller staff to begin with, but I think we're about 50% staff back too. It's like Michael was saying, I've had multiple conversations with people who have come back and they're used to a certain amount of income from their time on a Friday or Saturday night, we're not able to let.
It's not people.
We can only let half of our capacity in, so that's just not something that feasibly I can offer to them. You know, so we're having to bring back people that started with us, people that run a couple other of our restaurants, people that we can have. There's not enough hours to go around. Is the thing that I'm running into.
That's
to be able to offer and keep people.
Would it be better just to hire one person at a higher rate?
You would think that, but then you're going to run that person ragged and probably not have the product that you're trying to
being the plunger and electrician.
Yeah, yeah. There's only so. It reminds me of Donald Duck trying to keep a boat from sinking. It's like when you run a bar. Yeah. There's constantly something that's popping up to fix that fucks up that you gotta have. Hey, someone downstairs is doing this.
There's a leak.
You get one day without like a big problem you gotta spend money on or fix. That's a fucking great day.
Yes.
Even if sales aren't that great, it's just a happy day.
So how were you spending your time off, or when it was closed and everything?
Sitting on my ass, partying a little bit.
A new addition to the family.
Yeah, I got a new dog, a puppy. It's a Belgian Malinois. He's being trained as a service animal. I drove to Idaho and back twice. So,
damn, how far is that? Isn't that right next to Washington?
Yeah, the first time we drove all the way up there and then down the coast and back. That was about 5,000 miles. And then the second time we drove up there, we flew back. So that was about 2,000 more miles.
Yeah. So you went with someone else and you flew back? Because
my fiance and then my wife.
But I was like, what I was saying, because sometimes people take like one of those cars that don't have 4-wheel drivers in it, and they gotta go up those mountains, and they'll total the whole fucking shit.
Because we didn't even take one of our cars. We took one of our buddies. You know, I didn't put any miles or anything. I just paid for gas.
Nice. And did you think traveling to that time, was it like better than? Because I think anything getting away from this 100-degree heat was amazing.
Man, as soon as we left, the numbers here in Texas just went like skyrocketed. It was crazy hot. People were texting me, sending me pictures and shit. Like,
you're over there in the fucking north getting all the air.
Oh my god, man. It was probably about a day and a half before we hit some really, really cool air, and it was just a godsend. But traveling during a pandemic was, especially by car, was very interesting. There wasn't a lot of traffic. I can't even remember how many states we went through. So like every state, every city was different. You would go, you know, to big cities and everything's pretty locked down still. Like, you know, you can get to go food or whatnot, and you go every little place you go, you gotta have a mask on, hand sanitize, like, you know, keep your distance and everything. And then you go to these little buttfuck towns in the middle of nowhere,
especially at the very beginning,
dude. Yeah, like the very beginning of the states are like halfway, you know, to the next big city, but you go to those little places and there's 5 old geezers sitting in a gas station playing poker, and somebody's over there serving fried chicken, and you walk in with a mask on and they look like you're
the record stops.
Yeah, like you're fucking stupid. Like, you really wearing a mask, man? I'm like, hey, I just want to go piss and, you know, grab some snacks and head out and not
you ain't from around here, boy.
Yeah, man. Like, we got some weird looks in a couple different places.
When you go through the small towns and they're like, I don't know.
Yeah. So did you get married in Idaho or at another stop?
In Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
Very nice.
Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. So was it just like a spur of the moment thing, or you guys just planned that?
Well, we had a wedding planned for October, and
I know, man. I lost these 40 pounds to be in it.
There's a pandemic. We had a wedding planned for October, and the closer it got, you know, the more things kind of became apparent. It wasn't even just little things here and there, but, you know, you don't want to ever have a wedding, something that memorable, and then spend all this money on it, and the only thing you remember is people in fucking masks being told to...
Yeah, it's interesting because I'm seeing people that are having weddings right now, some having masks on, some with none of them in the pictures.
Well, I mean, the venue we were at, we'd already paid, you know, like halfway. We had a bunch of other shit, you know, booked and paid for, so it was just like, we can reschedule it, or we can keep spending all this money and all we're gonna have are pictures of people in masks. Like, it just wasn't worth it. So, like, we discussed it a couple times, and the first time we were up there we almost did it, and the second time we were like, fuck it, we don't want the wedding date to come around and not be married. So we went and got a marriage license the same day, and I ordained my buddy online, and we did it.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's funny because of those small towns, you could probably get it that day. I think in Austin, you have to like book it.
You have to wait like 30 days or something.
Yeah, because they
want to make sure, you know, you're positive.
I just went to a wedding on Friday, and it was my buddy's wedding. And then after like an hour and a half, no one cared about the mask. There's, fuck this,
All the booze and everyone.
Yeah, as soon as the ceremony was over, and then like,
were they making you guys sit down the whole time? Could you dance?
No, everyone was just when you got up, you put on your you're supposed to put on your mask. But then at the end of it, I was like, man, I'm gonna be in the pictures. Fuck this mask. I'm like pretty cautious about what I do, but at one point, half the people were wearing masks, and that was during the ceremony, and like, 'cause when we got there, we sit down and they get married, and as soon as that was done, the open bar, everybody's lost. Everybody, fuck this mask. future song. And it was funny because everybody know. I noticed the guy, the photography dude. Everybody was coming up to. Everybody's just like, I'm gonna be in these fucking pictures without this mask, and they can remember me being here. But it was good. It was at that bar mansion place up there off of
the Allen House.
Yeah, it's like a little cottage or something like that, and it's
like
near
the governor's
Breaker.
old mansion or something.
Maybe, I don't know. It's off Breaker. It's like Wade, Pflugerville North, but it's pretty. It's a nice little. It's like it's a lot. It's very white friendly.
Did the venue you guys were having were they establishing, or was it up to you guys?
What was that?
Whether you could wear the mask or not?
Oh no, they were going all about the governor's mandates. So that was one of the things. They kept sending out updates, and the more they sent them out, the more like
It's back up. Yeah. I was telling Michelle, dude, I was like, y'all just let them know, hey, they can get married back here. We'll put some sluts. What's up, man? Put up a barbecue grill.
That's kind of what we did, minus the backyard. It was just on the terrace of the resort. We just walked over there literally and did it real fast.
And it was in Idaho, right? So did you have to talk to the city or just the courthouse?
I just went to the recorder's office, is what they call it there.
Even easier.
The sweet old lady was very like almost like movie like, and got our marriage license. They didn't care about. It's like a little bubble up there. They don't give a shit about masks, nothing. All the bars are bars.
Yeah, I've been seeing the things on that where Chappelle's doing all his shows in Yellow Springs.
No.
Nobody wears masks because as soon as you get there, you get COVID tests, and then you get like a wristband.
Yeah. I was actually a club in New York is running like that. They're testing their members, and
they get a wristband saying I've been tested, so that you don't have to wear the mask.
I think UT's doing that for like Saturday games or something. Everybody goes and get tested Friday, but y'all fucking damn know everybody at UT is gonna go party Friday night.
Yeah,
show up. But the thing is, the crazy part of that, the fucking, I think what it was, 25% was still like 18,000 people.
Yeah, I mean the stadium holds like 104,000, something like that. Yeah,
for the Rose game, I think they can they put the metal chairs in there. They add seating up to 150K.
Jesus,
that's insane. But then you started seeing the Cowboys, and then they had 30,000 people because that thing holds, I don't know, like, I think 300,000 people.
Jerry's World, that's
it. But I don't know, man. I don't know what they're going to do with all those venues because at this point, we're already, all of Texas, 75%.
I was reading about, in New York City, I forget which online site I was reading it off of, but I think they said like 85% of bars and restaurants didn't pay their full rent that month.
Yeah. So if that's 85%, but then when you look into New York things, like most of those buildings are owned by Saudi investors.
True, outside investment. One can only imagine those skyrocketed rents too. What those guys are probably paying to rent.
I think what's gonna have to happen, either there's gonna be, I don't know if they're gonna care about the individual bars, but all the ones owned by big corporations, they're gonna take some kind of subsidy and add them to their tax at the end of the year so that they can make up those losses. I'm pretty sure. But
is that what you're thinking?
But I think it's all going to depend on what the city allows and the state, because they could write it off as like a tax break at the end.
Yeah, 'cause I was reading about what some of the outdoor music venues were getting as far as their grants that they were given and stuff, and some of them got pretty good amounts of money.
Talking about that, I just got an email from South by Southwest, I think this morning.
Yeah, they're planning on doing a virtual thing with a few.
Why virtual? We're already at 75%. That was my thing.
Is it the risk of having so many people that are coming from different places to be a part of it?
We should just limit it to Texas, y'all. Or like at least I don't know. I figure at this point, because I've been following.
It's hard when Texas is one of the worst to hit statistically to say you can't come here from other places. That's how do you establish who? And
we opened up too early and stuff. But I've been following like all the thing, and actually we are number 1 right now in recoveries.
Oh yeah.
And Houston, especially, it's like when you get hospitalized or something, in the Houston hospital, the main one, they have a 95%, and when you get in there, you get out, like with COVID, and like so because the doctor down there, he figured out this badass like mix of cocktail that they're starting to use at other hospitals and all over the country. So I think now that we have a better chance of treating it, that we shouldn't really have to do this anymore, you know. But I'm not a doctor, so don't take me into there. But I have followed the stats of it, of how Texas has been doing, and Austin especially. I think has been following Houston's thing, because we've only been monitoring like active cases, 800 people.
I think they might be waiting to announce something too, waiting to see what the winter's like too, the fall and winter. Because
you know what would be this weekend right now? It would not this one, but next one would be ACL
coming up. Yeah,
it would be the first 2 weekends of ACL.
Yeah, that's interesting to think about.
I think they changed the way when people go to the hospital, how they're classifying it too now, so numbers have gone down as well.
Yes,
something just came out about that,
something like that, but I don't really know, because as soon as they started sending it to the White House before I knew their numbers were kind of fucked. But I've been noticing I have a lot of unhealthy friends, and I noticed that these motherfuckers go to PAX, pools, Fairmont, you know, strip clubs and stuff. I'm like, how is he not caught it? He has asthma, all this stuff.
This seems crazy.
It's weird, because sometimes
it's got to be the alcohol.
They're drinking just straight whiskeys and just to burn up all the corona. But I was like, how are they? I guess it just depends on who it hits, you know, on if this person can handle it or not.
Or do they have it and not care?
That's another thing. Some people just bounces off, and you don't even fucking know. I think I had it in Australia when I came back, and I stayed home I usually stay home anyway, but I got over it within a week. But I just thought it was like a sinus infection or something, because I was on a fucking plane for 20 hours. But I feel it's because when I get sick, I only get sick like once every 3 years, so everything usually just bounces off me. So, but I don't know, but I know people that get sick every fucking week, you know, or every month something's up with them, you know. But then the thing is, people were taking wrong medications, and then leading up into those further stages, and then dying, you know. I think now we have more information. We're at least coming up to a year of this thing being found,
almost,
you know. And then so with it, we haven't figured out at least therapeutics on it, then we're fucked. But because I don't think the vaccine's gonna come. Really, we haven't even beat the flu with a vaccine.
No way. And it's not gonna be ready for us. I mean, until at least probably the middle of next year, I would think.
They were saying, well, Bill Gates, I don't know how anybody takes his opinion right now, but he was saying that the best shot for like a normal life back again would be 2022.
2022.
So another year on top of it.
That sounds like bullshit.
I think we're ready to go. We just need to see how people are going to handle the winter, basically how the flu is going to mix in with the symptoms, and like see who has what. A faster test would be better,
for sure.
Yeah, because if it was instant, like
it's weird, man. I had my brother went and got tested, and he got one back in 2-3 days. And there's another place that he went 2 weeks ago that he's
15 minutes.
They can't even find his results. Like this, like, yeah,
dude, that's the interesting part of that, because the White House has like 15-minute tests.
Yep.
And nobody else gets a hold of those until it's like, because I guess it's not FDA certified, but it's through some other fucking UK country that they're using it. But if we had 15 minutes, we find out who has it. Hey, stay home for a couple days. Yeah. Boom, come back. You know,
you don't know which ones are working or not. CVS was fucking.
This is true.
That's another thing too.
And sending them positive results.
Yeah.
And then people were getting positive results from them, even though they didn't even get a test.
Yes, I did see that.
They literally sent people that have just been there before a fucking notice that said, "Hey, you've been tested and you've."
And that's a money making scheme. Like,
it's like we were talking about with what bartenders have to do. Those Walgreens people, man, they don't run like giant pandemic testing businesses. You know, that's
I don't even trust them for their fucking passport.
Right? How do you want them to tell you whether you have COVID or not?
Have they been making y'all go do that, or what?
What's that?
Have they making the bars go do that?
You know what's funny is our employees, if they have any kind of symptoms or anything like that, we ask them to just stay home. It's small enough staff right now to where the other people, I think I have 4 other people on a bar back. They all have other jobs too that have them COVID test or work from home too. So
we're gonna have a problem here because all the cedar that's dropping right now. Like I know at cedar because I get a rash. I don't get like the feverish or nothing like that. But everybody else that does, they're gonna be like, "Do I have corona?"
Yes, there's similar. Yeah, it's every sneeze that you have or cough is gonna.
And then when you wake up, you get all mucusy. That's about it. Like I don't get the whole day where I can't breathe, but my girl, she's like blowing her fucking nose everywhere. I'm like, you got corona.
Yep. Yeah, that's funny. Paranoia is a weird side effect of coronavirus for sure.
It's weird because at the wedding that's on Friday, I took my own CBD, you know.
Of course you did.
And afterwards, you have those residuals of your smoke in your lungs. I'm like, oh shit, everybody thinks I got corona. It's like a weird
you
thing.
You had to let them know.
No, it's a weird thing now because people will look at you if you cough or something, and it's like offending them or something. And they're like,
you apologize for it.
And the worst part of it was all fucking out of town Mexicans because it's a very Mexican wedding, which is I love. But they're looking at me. I was like, dude, I live here. I don't know where you're from. And then you get to the bathroom, people are doing drugs.
Chances are they probably smelled you walk by, and that's what they were wanting to talk to you about.
They're saying that, but then you can tell they were on those other sweaty drugs.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, how many people are out here still doing like blow and stuff and like have a good immune system?
Well, and I guess
don't have corona,
That's one thing the mask is good at doing too, is covering up the things that you're not good at wiping off nowadays. I guess that we never thought about that.
I kind of like the mask because I don't know. I think there's a lot of ugly people in the world. I'm like, yeah, you can't even tell.
Maybe we should implement the first mask with a straw coming out of the nose part of it,
or just give them a gas mask. We don't even have just a suit now. Yeah. Just like a fucking astronaut suit and just walk around. But
I like that idea. I just want to do that for fun.
Somebody made a whole helmet thing that just goes over your shoulders and covers the whole fucking thing.
Like a little scuba.
You just walk around with it.
And then there's still like oxygen tanks with the bino. People never thought back in the 90s that we would be buying bottled water. Now it's the fucking it's a normal thing. There's fucking shitload of companies, and when they started, Zani came out like, why would I buy them? I got it at the tap, bro.
There's bottled air now.
There is that. Yeah, you can buy purified air, and it's just
it's expensive. Yeah, it's not cheap. You got to look it up. 2 Chainz did a special on it.
We need to do another one of these on bottled air.
100 air. Yeah,
ready for that.
We're gonna need to split a bottle because there's not. We're getting some good air.
I want to get the top shelf. we need the bottle service skills. How do you think that's gonna work now with the bottle service? Are y'all doing bottle service?
Man, I've seen places that are new restaurants that are opening, and everyone that's sitting there eating their wonderful looking food.
Shaking fingers.
I've got to be honest, because I can't believe that some of these places are posting the food that they're serving on there.
It's
no offense to any of these places.
Hey, what do you want when you're drunk?
It's true, yeah. Bagel bites and Whataburger, man. That's my go-to.
I heard some people were charging the pizza from next door or some shit like Shakes about trying to repel his pizza just to get the revenue.
I mean, if you were trying to do it and make sure all businesses did well, you would rather have a place. I mean, help out a place and not serve a fucking DiGiorno pizza. Yeah, I think that it would be better just for everyone to serve pizza.
That'd be cool because they could just pass the profits to them and then bring it over.
Well, the thing was originally you had to have an on-site kitchen, and then he revised it again. You can just do it with a fucking food truck. You just have to serve food.
Mm-hmm. Dude, some people are still like they're not risking the fines. Like Bender over here, they haven't opened.
And they had food before
and they have a fucking grill, and then they have
an outdoor patio too.
Yeah, outdoor patio. Yeah. They have another room too where maybe you can just put some booths in there, put a table in there so people can sit.
Have you gone back out as a customer to any places?
I don't really think so since I got back to Austin.
I was wondering. Yeah, no, I'm saying, man.
I went to Gus's Fried Chicken and I was killing it. I was like, yo, there's no line. I was like, I'm killing it. There's still people that tables are full, and I don't know if y'all been to Gus's right here.
Oh, yeah.
There's this one dude that works the counter all the time with the fucking droopy hair and shit. Same dude been working there for 30 years or something. Still acting like it's super packed. Just,
like, just as miserable as before.
Like, dude, man, what's gonna stop? First I get it because it was always lined out the fucking door.
Oh, yeah.
People are, hey, come talking, you trying to get attention all fucking day.
Now you know it had nothing to do with the line.
I was like, this guy's an asshole. That's what it is. But I like the way they're doing because it didn't take me too long to get a table to sit down and eat, and everybody else. The weird thing is about me is that everybody's just like eating with no mask, talking, having like what we're doing now, and then as soon as they stand up, they put the mask and go like.
You see the meme going around? It's like you're walking and COVID's gonna just kill you. And as soon as you sit down, and start eating, it goes right.
Like there's one where the dude's holding a beer and the Corona's coming, and then there's a beer in a plate, and
it's how cheeseburgers stop coronavirus is blowing my mind. But
I went to the Improv in Houston to see Joe Rogan in the end of June.
Yeah,
and it was a good show, but they were serving chicken fingers. That's all it was. Chicken fingers and people. And I'm like, me and my girl were like, yeah, we fucking ate before we came. Because in Houston, so we had to drive over, so we just grabbed a burger real quick. And
the chicken fingers just came with the tickets?
No, it's just like the menu. That's what the food they were offering or something. But it was all chicken fingers, bite, something, salad. And it was bullshit. I was like, bring us a bottle of wine, something. We're balling out. People were just bullshitting with like beers and like, you can get bucket of beer though. There, I saw some people get buckets, and I was like, why the fuck? So we got, I think, a bottle and something, and we got some old fashions, and it was a pretty good night. But it definitely wasn't 50% capacity. It was like that wink, but it was right there, right when they rescaled it back, when they closed it back down. It was that same day. So what could they do?
How was the show?
It was a good show. Like they did about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and it was three people.
How was the wine?
The wine was I would say it was probably just a $40 bar. They charged me $65 for it, but it was I think it was JCB something, Jacob something. It's like a 20 30. It's like a 20-30 bottle, but it definitely wasn't nothing special, I would say.
If I'm gonna go out anywhere and I have to sit down, I'm gonna get a bottle.
Get that VU, to try to be classy. I drink that just here chilling. So what are y'all's I guess plans right now? Are y'all just playing it by ear for the bar?
Yeah, man, just listening to every update every day, trying to make sure everything's up to order and we're following all the laws and the rules, and trying to make sure
and that fucked up what Abbott did. He was just like, yo, everything open at bar still no. He just didn't even address the situation.
Yeah. I mean, the gym thing kind of is the one that weirds me out because, man, I think how a gym is not a more risky environment than
and they're in the gym with the mask, with the fucking air conditions. You're like, fucking, I'm like, what? I don't get it,
Not me.
I just don't understand it, man. It just sounds like his wife fucked a bartender or something.
Hey, man,
I think we got to the bottom of it.
He can't get it up. He's been in a wheelchair, dog.
Salty about something.
Well, we want to put up your page real quick so people can see.
Also, spread the theory. I think his wife did fuck a bartender.
And we want to let everybody know 77 is now open and ready for customers. Wait, y'all just open the weekends now? Or what are y'all?
Every day,
Monday through
2 a.m.
Saturday.
Food all day long.
Come see these chicas on here. I don't know if they work there but
Most of them do.
But they'll be there.
They will be there. And appreciate you for tuning in, guys. This is another episode of Atta Boi Einstein, and y'all have a good night.